Hope will still exist in the hearts of people.
Yeah, and thank you. Your warm welcome is exactly what we've received in mosques all along the way, which we visited for iftar, the same solidarity and the same warmth. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. And I learned that you also fasted in the last week.
We did, yeah. Well, the whole of Ramadan, yes. So we could share iftar at the mosques, yeah.
You're keeping fit then.
Yeah.
Maybe we should call it Keep Fit for Palestine.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that.
Thank
Peter did it all on I did it on a bike. I was cheating.
Oh, well, that's not cheating because you're also working your knees and working your muscles. But I hope it's not electric.
No.
That would be cheating.
That would be cheating. Really would be cheating.
Really,
I'm Nick.
Yes,
We did meet a few years ago.
Yes, we did. I follow your project. I see what you do, how you're connecting children to Palestinian children. It's a major thing. On Friday, I spent the first day of the Eid with Palestinian children from Gaza, the injured ones. And I learned that also some of them have been connected.
Oh, that's so good to hear.
So very well done.
We've been sharing their poetry all along the route. We've been doing events and sharing poems with Palestinian people.
Live links as well.
Yeah. The way you bring humanity into this is really commendable. Really. Because there's a lot of things that are lost in the middle.
Yeah.
Lots of strategic conversations, policy, military, security. But the humanity side has been lost for a long time.
Yeah. I think it's there in the poetry, the exchange of poetry between Palestinian children and children all around the world.
How did you start with it? What connected you with this?
Well, I was working with the Hands Up Project since 2017, and I was helping some children in Gaza with their production of King So I still feel like I'm with those children. They were in Lebanon, which was obviously, as you know, flatter. But I feel I'm still teaching them, still part of that production that they were doing. So feel very close to them.
Bless you. Maybe one day I'll come with you in a walk, so I lose some of this and give you a hand with the
Love you
message.
to come with us. Thank
Maybe
you.
Fida wants us to.
I might just introduce you to Ashraf.
Ashraf, hello, أهلا أهلا
Ashraf,
أهلا.
our Northern Gaza coordinator,
Ah.
who's recently arrived in
لنا
the
الشرف
UK.
من سفيرنا بلندن.
أهلا بيك، شرف
أنا صار
لي.
لي شهرين هون
أهلا بيك.
ومتابعين كلماتك.
أهلاً.
نتشرف
أهلا يا أشرف.
إنه
شرف.
حضرتك تتكلم تروح تشرف الغزاز كله.
والفلسطينية.
الفلسطيني طبعا طبعا.
تسلم. أولادك هذول؟
غير أولادي
أهلاً.
صرت أجيبهم.
أهلا، كيفك حبيبي؟ كيفك عمو؟ كل عام وأنتم بخير. عيد مبارك عليكم إن شاء الله. أنتم جيتوا من 3 شهور من وين؟ من غزة؟
أنا
آه.
هون للبي اتش دي في بعض.
أهلا أهلا دكتور.
طلعت
واو.
معهم على سبين. مشينا المسافة كلها بسبين.
واو.
بس عندي مشكلة بالركبة من هناك جيت فيها فما كملت معهم. اليوم أصريت نكمل معهم مقابل حضرتك.
احترامي، عن جد احترامي، احترامي ومحبتي. واو.
عليهم زي هيك بدنا نطلع على الستيج.
Yeah.
maybe we are asked to just together to we follow.
Spaghetti, sorry.
That's it. You want the three of us, the five of us? فدا تعالي تعالي.
You need a bit of colour.
My partner in the crime.
Okay, I think we're told to go around just to say hello to people.
Yeah.
Greet them. After you, Peter. Doctor.
What up with your bikes, Nick? Enough.
No, Nick
enough
is doing
with
much
bikes.
better than the
He
other
took a tandem one to Spain. He killed me with
We
it.
did it on a tandem.
I asked him one question. Is it electric? He said no. I said then it's not cheap.
هي كانت اصعب من هيك، كان تاندم.
Can tandem. But then every time we stop at playground, these two stop to play and delayed me.
You need to play.
Yeah, I have pictures of you.
Joy. Yes. Yes. We need to do it with joy. Absolutely.
Jackson.
Absolutely.
John.
You know, major international music like jazz is born out of creating joy during suffer.
Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah.
خلينا نمشي.
نمشي وين؟
هو المفروض انك تطلع على الستيج بس كانوا واقفين زي هيك فحبيت انك لو تسلم عليهم بعد.
طب ايش نسوي انا؟ ايش بدك نسوي؟ خالد. فدا شو بدك ايانا نسوي هلا؟ يلا.
خالد.
يلا. Peter. Nick, where is Nick? Yeah. Nice flag. Very beautiful, really, and expressive. Very expressive. And the red color, what is the Peter? The red color would represent life,
It can be. I think it also represents violent death.
the island death,
Unfortunately,
against violent death.
it's against violent death. It's bringing awareness of it.
Mm.
Protesting against it.
Very powerful, very expressive.
على الستيج.
Yeah.
الكينوت سبيكر انت اول.
Okay. اهلا السلام عليكم. اهلا كل عام وانتم بخير.
عيدكم سعيد. الحمد لله طيبين.
طبعا اتشرف بكم. ها؟ اهلا بعمان يا حبيبي. انا كنت بعمان قبل شهر ونصف. ها؟ بلد جميل وشعب جميل. Yeah, we need a good video. Yeah.
Hello everyone and welcome the pilgrims who started in Spain, in Andalusia, and ended up here today in the Parliament Square. So let's put it together for everybody who took part in this event. Fortunately or unfortunately, as part of our struggle, we always face resistance, and today the police is cattling our people at Victoria Station. This explains the fewer number of people joining us because they think when they do this they can stop us. But as you know, nothing can stop us, and we keep going until Palestine is free. There is a story behind this pilgrimage because, as we know, pilgrimage had been as part of all the cultures as well as religions. So pilgrimage is transforming a movement into something spiritual, and this is what we actually do today. We are walking because we're sending a message, and I'll leave our speakers to pass the message to you. So we have wonderful speakers. We would like to thank our first keynote speaker, the Dr. Hussam Zumlot. Please come here.
Thank you, Fida. My friends, sisters and brothers, today we gather not merely as a crowd, but as a conscience. Living, breathing, walking, people of every faith, every background, every corner of this country and beyond have come together. That itself is the message. This pilgrimage began in 2025 when poet Peter Oswald, here with us. Please put your hands together for Peter. He's hiding behind the flag of Palestine. We are proud of you and the flag of Palestine, Peter. Thank you for all that you have done. Peter walked 150 miles from Bristol to London, fasting in solidarity with Palestinians and with people of conscience everywhere. He walked not because it was his struggle by birth, but because he understood that injustice anywhere wounds us all. This year, that journey grew. It crossed countries. It began in Andalusia, in the heart of a civilization where for centuries Muslims, Christians, and Jews built something extraordinary together. From Bukhara to Granada, pilgrims walked and fasted and shared their iftar in mosques. Then from Bristol across more than 250 miles of British roads and fields to stand here today, all of you, one of the longest solidarity pilgrimages of its kind. And who joined them? Just some names. Ahraf from Gaza, Fida from Al Khalil, Hebron, Peter, a British poet, as we say, and playwright, Nick Belborough, whose Hands Up project connects children across the world with Palestinian children through art and storytelling. Where is Nick? Thank you, Nick. Palestinians and our friends are side by side. That is not symbolism. That is the truth of this movement. We use the word pilgrimage deliberately. You use it deliberately. In every great tradition, Islamic, Christian, Jewish, Hindu, Buddhist, pilgrimage transforms a physical journey into something sacred. It is not merely walking, it is intention, it is witnessing. The soul, Peter, the soul moving towards what is right. And what we are witnessing today requires us to be very clear. We are watching children in Gaza lose everything, their lives, their homes, their families, their futures, while the world debate what to call it instead of stopping it. While the world still debating what to call it instead of stopping it, it was and still is a genocide. It was and still is a genocide. And as we speak, my friends, we are watching in horror our people in the West Bank under unprecedented attack, terror attack by the illegal Israeli settlers, sitting far across West Bank villages, all over, with the tacit, direct support and protection and complicity of the Israeli occupation forces. We are watching Palestinian children who despair all of this, still paint, still play, still joyful, still draws, still imagine a future. I want to tell you something personal. This past Friday, the day before yesterday, was the first day of Eid, a day of celebration, of gratitude, and of shared moments, special moments with family. I spent that day with Palestinian children who had been evacuated from Gaza with injuries that no child should ever carry. And yet, when I looked into their eyes, I did not see only suffering. I saw something that stopped me in my tracks. I saw hope, defiance, unbroken, luminous hope. Those children, my friends, who have lost more than most of us can begin to imagine, were still reaching forward, still innocent, still playing, still blowing balloons, and still alive in every sense of the word. That is who we and you are working for. You're not working for an abstraction, not a statistic. You're working for those children. You're working for all of our children. We also work because of what is spreading across this world. Racism in all of its forms, the dehumanization of whole peoples, the deliberate manufacturing of fear and division. The same forces, my friends, the same forces that seek to erase Palestinian identity, seek to turn communities worldwide, everywhere, against one another. It's the same target. They use hatred as a political tool. They use hatred as a military tool. They use hatred as an ideological tool. They must And they want to fragment us. They want to scare us. But here we stand, people of every faith, from many nations and backgrounds, not despair our differences, but with them and through them, we are united. I repeat this. People of every faith, because this is the central message of today. People from every faith, from every nation, from every background. And it's not despite our differences, but it is with them and through them. This is what solidarity actually looks like. One people, one humanity, one message. This is what those forces fear most, more than anything, that we refuse to be divided. Palestine, yes, that we refuse to be divided. You may have seen today the passing of a key, the Palestinian key of return, a symbol of the homes and the land from which families were ethnically cleansed in 1948. It is handed from one person to another, from one generation to another. It says, we have not forgotten. We will not forget. We will return, and we will keep this promise alive together. That key does not belong to us only. That key does not belong to us only. It belongs to humanity. So let us walk on from this place, my friends, from this place in Westminster Square. Let us walk from this place carrying something with us. Let us walk for the children of Gaza, of Palestine, for the children everywhere who paint their dreams in the rubble. Let us walk for the families of the West Bank, enduring daily violence, terrorism, and oppression, and dispossession. Let us walk until racism loses its grip, until accountability replaces impunity, and until every child, every single child in Palestine and everywhere can grow up with safety, with dignity, with freedom, and with love. With love. Let us walk until we get to the finish line. Genuine peace. That is the genuine line. That is the finish line. Genuine peace. Because the conscience of humanity is not silent, it is rising. It is rising here in Westminster Square, in London, in the UK. It is rising in Europe. It is rising in the US. It is rising in Asia. It is rising in Africa. It is rising everywhere in the world. Enough is enough. So, my friends, let us keep walking, keep witnessing, keep believing, and thank you. So we one day walk together to the liberated capital of the state of Palestine, that is Al-Quds, Jerusalem. Thank you.
We still didn't. You can notice the difference in height, I can't ignore it. Thank you very much, Dr. Hassam. It's very difficult to speak after Dr. Hassam speaks. His words are so powerful. It reminds us with the atrocities. It reminds us with what we need to be reminded with. But at the same time, it gives us a lot of power and continuity. And speaking of continuity, I would like to ask Dr. Hassam to present the key as part of our tradition for this pilgrimage to a Palestinian child, sending a message of continuity. So if we can have our future child who should be receiving the key, and I'll leave the rest to Dr. Hassam.
We shall return. Thank you.
Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the sea to the river!
Palestine will live forever.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hassam. Thank you, young children. And now we have our next guest speaker who fights through the voice and through the art. Somebody who pushed one of our most traditional songs, Yamma Mwel El Hawa, to the top. And we all remember this song. So I would like to welcome Hamid Abdullah to share a few words with you.
Thank you very much. First, I'd like to say that I'm humbled to stand here. I'm humbled to stand next to this statue of Mahatma Gandhi as it faces Parliament. Something that at the beginning of Mahatma Gandhi's walk to freedom and for the freedom of his people, everyone would have said was impossible, was something that never would have happened. I'm humbled to stand here today after your pilgrimage. The 150 or so miles I understand you've walked from Bristol to London. If you do the calculations, almost every single step equals a Palestinian soul that has either died or been injured over these last 2 years, not to mention the thousands upon thousands, the hundreds of thousands who have been displaced over the 78 years of this network. So I'm humbled to stand here, and at the same time, I draw courage from this pilgrimage, from this collection of people, and of course from the statue that somehow, for some reason, this pilgrimage has ended at, in the convergence of histories. I've written some words, which I'm going to read now, because of course, we stand at this moment, which was very different to the moment that the pilgrimage started. Once again, the precipice has got closer, the abyss even deeper, and somehow the world continues. Just stop for a moment. Stop and consider how it is that after 2 years of genocide, we're in a world in which the person most clearly responsible for the genocide and a wanted war criminal, Benjamin Netanyahu, has now led America and the idiocy of Donald Trump and his administration into a war on Iran and Lebanon that is eating up the entire region and the flow of oil and gas that powers the world economies. If you have spent any of the last 2 years thinking that the genocide in Palestine is just about Palestinians in Gaza or people thousands of miles away from your life, another rude awakening is on its way, as the cost of living, fuel bills, salaries, rent, mortgages here, everywhere, are affected by the madness of what Netanyahu is doing to Palestinians and the world. When will we learn, as the deepest article of faith in our bodies, that no one is free until everyone is free? The poison of the genocide in Palestine has already been alive in destroying our democracies, eating away at civil liberties and institutions, numbing us to slaughter. Now it's about to become economic in a way that no one will be able to ignore. But the question is how we interpret it. Will we collectively be bewildered? Will it continue to be said that if October the 7th hadn't happened, Israel wouldn't have reaped this hell? Or will the ideological histories underpinning the genocide and this level of dehumanization become the real story? Will we finally see with absolute clarity of sight that it is everything political represented in Netanyahu that is the cause of this nightmare? Netanyahu himself can go to hell. When we're finally rid of him, the problem will remain because it is what he represents ideologically and in history that we have to deal with. And above all, it is the idea essential to all colonial and by definition racist, supremacist projects, whether Zionism, the British Empire, the US Empire, Donald Trump or Putin, that sees people and nations, their histories and their lands as some kind of abstract putty to be reshaped according to the will of the powerful, rather than full-blooded human beings with a history and sovereignty of their own to be treated with respect and given dignity. Palestine will never, ever be subjugated to the will of Zionism. The biggest shock to Netanyahu and his like is that even after the devastation of this genocide and 78 years of ongoing Nakba, Palestinians have not left their lands, do not want to leave. Just like it is for Donald Trump that Iranians have not immediately risen up following his bombing campaign and attempt to reshape their country. Yes, many Iranians want the end of the Islamic Republic, but they do not want it on Netanyahu and Trump's terms, at least the same amongst them. Just as in Iraq, people wanted the end of Saddam, but they did not want what America, Britain, and so many others brought to them. This globalized world is one in which the cruelty exacted elsewhere arrives to everyone even faster than it did in the past. This pilgrimage for Palestine that has walked across Spain and then Bristol to London started on February the 27th, a day before this illegal war began. That was a world away in less than 4 weeks. Or was it? The writing is on the wall for everyone. It has been, to be honest, for more than the last 2 years of this genocide. The normalization of this violence is coming for all of us. It started seemingly far away, but it's about to enter the price of everything we consume and what our wages or bank balances can pay for. In this country, the economic consequences may result in even more turmoil and wishes for the right-wing answer in the shape of Nigel Farage, unless we get our stories straight and build effective solidarities that see how the struggles for freedom and equality everywhere are connected. Yesterday was Nowruz. May this year and the consciousness in it mark the long march towards a new beginning. May we understand that international laws exist as an opportunity that requires constant renewal in our efforts to create a world of equal rights in which every human is seen as equally valuable. When Palestine beats in your heart, it opens the possibility of a better world. Whenever Netanyahu does, disaster is upon you. There is no simpler way of putting it. And whatever part of you, whatever part of any of us, is submissive or silent in the face of Netanyahu and his allies, is making way for the disaster of where we might be headed if we don't get moving fast. Free Palestine. Thank you.
He keeps insulting me. Every time somebody leaves, he comes and lowers the mic. This is not nice. Thank you very much, Khaled. That was brilliant. And now we have Peter Oswald, the founder of the Pilgrimage for Palestine. And a few days ago, we decided to say on the website that Peter is the founder. And since then, he's insisting on us speaking to him formally and show more respect. So, Your Highness, we're ready for you.
Thank you. That's more like it.
No, only for today, Peter.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Feda. Creativity, imagination, freedom of speech, justice, all these are under threat in any country which is in a blind alliance with the US and Israel. And we've seen it right here in Parliament Square. I watched my wife carried away by the police into a van. I was carried away myself, my friends, colleagues, right here in this place. And any country that's in this blind alliance has to oppress its own people with what Rajiv Menon, the QC who represents the Building 24, called punishment by process. Now, by law, as we've seen, they can't lock up the Filton 24, so they lock them up for 15 months or so on remand under the conditions that terror suspects are kept under the restrictions that they're kept under. This was punishment by process. This is repression in our country in the name of our alliance with Israel. But we, as a country, can do better, and that is the feeling that one gets from the pilgrimage. Obviously, as has been said, we started in Spain, and there they suffered fascism, as we all know, and they have chosen to side with Palestine. And we were able there to go into a school and to set up a live link between the Spanish students and the student in Gaza. Extraordinary person. Well, they were all extraordinary people, and we just left them chatting to each other. We can't do that in this country. It's almost impossible for the Hands Up Project or the pilgrimage to go into schools here. We can do better. We've got a colonial past, but we did the Good Friday Agreement. We had Brexit, we've had the death of the Labour Party, but we've got a new party, and we've got the rebirth of the Green Party. We supported South African apartheid, but in the end, we came round and we helped with the freedom of Mandela. We can do better in this country, and that's the feeling that you get walking the roads and the canal paths of England. We've had a lot of anger directed at us. We've been called some pretty choice things as we've walked along. But once or twice I've been able to talk to people, and angry people I'm talking about. People are angry that we're carrying the Palestinian flag through Britain, as if that was an act of treason and terrorism. And once or twice, listening, letting them speak, and letting them know that you're listening, they softened, and they wanted to talk. They didn't want to be ignorant. They didn't want to be wrong. And I found that very, very encouraging. We talked about calling through the soles of our feet to the soul of Britain. It's unimaginable to us born up in this country that with all the traditions of fighting the Nazis, etc., which we were brought up with, that it should be involved in supporting a genocide. And we know that this country has done unspeakable things in the past, but there was just the sense that at its heart, this country is not racist, or it potentially is not racist. And that's what we were appealing to, as we said, through the soles of our feet to the soul of Britain. And the other thing we did was we, as has been said, we participated in the Ramadan fast, and we called in at mosques, in at the Grand Mosque in Granada and mosques all the way here to London Parliament Square, where we were warmly welcomed and we were accepted, because although most of us, well, many of us who were the faces of the pilgrimage are from the white majority, they trusted and accepted us because we were participating in the fast in solidarity, and we prayed with them and we broke the fast with them. And what an immeasurable resource Islam is for this country, and how terribly badly needed. What extraordinary wisdom and civilization there is in it, as well as devotion. All of those things we need, rather than telling them that they shouldn't hold iftar in Trafalgar Square and things like that. So, as I say, any country like ours in a blind alliance with Israel and the US is going to have to suppress creativity and imagination in this country. And so it's almost as if my wish to side with Palestine and my dream for the freedom of Palestine is selfish, because in that I see the freedom of our country, the creativity and the free speech of our country. The genocide in Gaza has enabled the genocide in Sudan. The crippling of the UN facilitates that, and the road is open for further horrors and devastations. But there is humanity, and there is the possibility of dialogue. And but it depends on us continuing to struggle for Palestine. It's not a kind of abstract or poetic thing to say that we are all Palestinians. As has already been said eloquently by the previous two speakers, we are all Palestinians because if we don't support Palestine, if we accept the blind alliance to Israel, then all of our freedoms will vanish one by one until we ourselves are all carried off to police cells, as so many of us were in this square and in Trafalgar Square. So I just want to end by saying one poem by one of the children in the Cairo space that the Hands Up Project supports, where children who escaped from Gaza are taught. And they write extraordinary poems. This is by Mala. By Mala Abu Shamla, who's 16. We are the trees. We are the air. We are the dream where it grows. We draw the sun. We write the cloud color. We are the life. And when we speak, the world hears too. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir Peter. And now we will share a few words with Nick Belberer, who is a writer and he's the founder of Hands Up Project, a wonderful project that focuses on young Palestinian children that needs healing. So he's helping to heal these children through art. I will leave it to Nick to pass a powerful message. Thank you, Nick.
Moon, tell me truth. Israel, the Zionist entity, has been created out of lies. It's been created out of malicious, filthy lies. And one of the strongest lies that Israel has invested in over many years, spent many years and much money on, is the lie about education in Gaza. The lie that says that girls do not receive a proper education. The lie that says that creativity is not valued in the Palestinian education system. And worst of all,